obìnrin kí ni nǹkan tó rọ̀ mọ́ so torí náà ẹ pé àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ pé family ẹ pé gbogbo akájọ jókòó ká gbọ́ ètò ọjọ́ ìní torí wípé ó ṣe pàtàkì ká mọ bó ṣe ń lọ lórí ètò lẹ́nìí ẹ káàbọ̀ welcome to Legal Guide. All right, sir. So you're welcome back. To participate along the show, the number you will call is 09152222957. 09155555957. All right, sir. It is Legal Guide, and I'll be bringing aboard my guest this morning, the person of Barrister Toluwase Samuel Ogundeji, who will be talking together with the topic domestic abuse laws in Nigeria. If you remember, some times ago, the story of Osinachi, the gospel artist that was allegedly killed through domestic violence, domestic beating, and which she laid it low without telling anybody. But at the end of the day, she lost her life due to that. And it has really created created mixed reaction among different quarters in Nigeria. And a lot of reaction has been going on regarding that. This is just one cases among other cases that are there. Hello, good morning, Barrister. Good to have you again.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. All right, so I have Barrister Toluwase Samuel Ogundeji on the show. I've read his profile for you already, and today together we'll be discussing domestic abuse laws in Nigeria. And Barrister, please permit me. I will be using both languages.
Is that what?
I said I'll be using both languages to address this issue this morning.
Okay.
I have gotten a lot of calls from different people that I need to because it's a very important, a very sensitive topic that we need to carry a lot of people along. So we'll be co-mixing the languages together. So permit me to use that.
No problem.
All right. Okay. So gẹ́gẹ́ bó ṣe sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan wípé nǹkan tá a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lónìí òun náà ni nípa ìwà ipá abẹ́lé kí ni àwọn òfin tó rọ̀ mọ́ kí ni òfin sọ nípa ẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà òun la máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lónìí ní orí ètò lénìí. When we look at the domestic abuse in Nigeria is very rampant. Barrister, I was just giving scenario of the late gospel artist, may our soul rest in peace, Osinachi. Yeah, who was also a victim of domestic abuse. And when we say domestic abuse, we want to look it from the side of the women, because when you look at the statistics, it's mostly, the lion's share is mostly from the women's side, isn't it?
Yes, women and children.
And children, yes, thank you. And children, yes. So when we talk about domestic abuse, under the law, what does it mean?
Well, domestic abuse is the intentional and persistent abuse of anyone in the home in a way that causes pain, distress, or injury. So it's a deliberate act. It's a deliberate act, and right now one of the laws that is recent that Nigeria is working with. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Is the Violation Against Persons Prohibition Act.
Okay.
2015. So that's the recent law, and there it also accommodates for something else apart from physical abuse. It envisages psychological abuse also, because there are times when you are just making the home uncomfortable for your partner, because that's one of the things that we'll be looking at today, because I would love us to just look into that law.
Okay.
Because we have that Violation Against Persons Prohibition Act, which was promulgated signed into act in 2015. So, and then all the states too have already domesticated it, like Oyo State now, though I wasn't able to lay my hands on the one for Oyo State.
Okay.
We have the Oyo State Violation Against Persons law, which was investigated in 2021.
Okay.
So we have that in Oyo State. There's also a law in Oyo State, which is Violation Against Women law, which was set as an act in 2016.
Okay, I have that copy here.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Oyo State of Nigeria Gazette.
Yes.
2016. Yeah, I have it here.
2016. Great. And then we have Child Rights Act, of course. So the domestic abuse covers physical abuse, which is maltreatment, which can cause harmful and adverse psychological and emotional abuse. This can cause neglect, lack of proper care, verbal insults, and general interactions. Because when we start looking into that Violation Against Persons Prohibition Act, it even makes it an offense to forcefully eject your spouse.
Okay.
So and then also it also covers harmful cultural practices.
Okay.
This is actually trying to address female genital mutilation and making it an offense against the law. So you are not just this has helped to bring certain offenses under a direct law, because we are not operating by some of the issues that happen. You find out that the police are unable to prosecute properly because the criminal code or the penal code appears not to cater directly for that kind of offense.
Okay.
Yeah, so now that there are these laws, because one of the things under that law, there are certain things under the VAP law. We call it VAP, that's Violation Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, and it has widened the scope of rape.
Okay.
Rape initially was just that penetration by the vagina. Permit me to be
okay. No problem.
Exactly. So, but now it has in section 1, it has now made it an offense, whether even if it's oral or anal, and even if the consent was taken by force.
Okay.
Because many people go scot-free because they are able to establish consent. Now it has gone further than that. That okay, even if you obtain it with the consent, sorry, I've been.
No problem. It's, yeah.
So he agreed to you, but it was subtle. It was manipulated. You manipulated the person and
okay.
Detention by force. Then you are liable to life imprisonment.
Okay.
Do you understand? So and then it also spousal battery, covers spousal battery, forceful ejection from home, forced financial dependence or economic abuse, harmful widowhood practices, female circumcision or genital mutilation, abandonment of children, harmful traditional practices, harmful substance attacks, political violence, isolation and separation from family and friends. That's more psychological.
Okay.
When you tell your spouse, do not relate to your family again, do not relate to your friends, just stay at home, stay within the boundaries of the home, depriving persons of their liberty, indecent exposure, violence by state actors. That's trying to address violence by persons that hold positions in the states. So this law is something, though you can say that yes, it's an act which the law makes NAPTIP to be the one to mandate them as a governing body. to administer that law, and primarily it accommodates, it works for FCT, but we have our law. And when you talk about domestication, then you are talking about Oyo State also adopting the law in its entirety to operate in the state. So, and then when you come to domestic abuse laws, that's why I said in the last week, Lagos is one of the states in Nigeria that is responding to issues proactively, because they even have sexual offences court. It's a specialized court.
Yes.
Because Section 1 of that VAP Act says that each state should have sexual offenders register, which should be made available. Anybody that is convicted for sexual offense or anything, abuse, his name should be entered in that register and made available to the public.
Okay.
So trying to curb reoccurrence, trying to curb so that you know that, okay, this person has been found guilty about something, so we shouldn't go near that.
Okay.
So I think if you can help me, I don't know how I'm going to just put that in Yoruba.
I will summarize that.
everything. So that's one of the things, because we must the vulnerables are majorly the women.
Yes. All right.
It doesn't mean that domestic abuse does not happen to the male, but
majorly is women and child. Tí o dẹ̀ sọ jáde, so là ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lónìí, kí ni àwọn nǹkan tó rọ̀ mọ́, kí ni òfin sọ nípa ẹ̀, gẹ́gẹ́ bí agbẹjọ́rò Tolúwaṣẹ Samuel Ogundeji ṣe sọ pé òfin ti wà nílẹ̀ tí federal government ti ṣe, tí Ọ̀yọ́ state náà dẹ̀ tún ní ètò tán gbé jáde ní 2016 nípa òfin tó rọ̀ mọ́ àti máa lo obìnrin, gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe mọ̀ pé obìnrin gangan ni àwọn tó máa ń jẹ́ forífá àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, kí ọkọ máa na ìyàwó tàbí kí ọkọ kó máa ṣe nǹkan tí ò tọ́ sí ìyàwó ẹ̀ tàbí sí àwọn ọmọ. So àwọn nǹkan tá à ń sọ, tá a fẹ́ sọ lé lónìí nìyẹn. Nọ́mbà tẹ́lẹ̀ pè wá sí náà ni 09152222957 09155555957. ẹ̀jẹ̀ àti ẹ̀rí bóyá ìwọ tí ọkọ ẹ̀ ń nà, kí nìkan tó fẹ́, ìmọ̀ràn wo ló fẹ́, agbẹjọ́rò ó ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti lè bá a dá sí lẹ́nìí. Barrister.
Yes, sir.
Now let's start it from the family issue now. Ọkọ sí aya. We find out that most of the time, when the husband maltreats the wife, either by beating or different means, a máa rí wípé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà ni pé àwọn ìyàwó gan wọn ń sọ̀rọ̀ jáde. Tó bá dé sọ̀rọ̀ jáde, báwo ni òfin ṣe fẹ́ ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́? Kí lẹ rò pé ó ń fa irú nǹkan báyìí tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ jáde? Tó bá tẹ̀ tún sọ̀rọ̀ jáde, a tún máa rí wípé ẹbí gan tún máa ń dá pé don't let us let's kill the case, don't let us shout it out there, we don't want people to know. What do you think? Is it our society issue, or are we looking at a stigmatization that will come after that, or what do you think could be the cause for this?
Well, in comaging, it's a two-way thing.
Okay.
Number one is the culture, custom, and ìyẹn ni àṣà.
Àṣà.
Ìkejì ni ẹ̀sìn. Religion. Now, their beliefs, custom-wise, we are Yorubas, our Yoruba. Wọ́n máa ń sọ pé àwọn òbí máa ní pé ọkọ ẹ̀ láti mọ̀ yìí o. Gbogbo wa sọ pé kò dùn tó, wá ló ń padà bọ̀ wálé. They don't want to hear that emotion. It's a stigma on the family. We have discovered that times have changed, in which the way man was, the understanding of what it means to be a man has changed, because some of the customs that we have adopted, there are several things. I don't want to go into such issues, but okay, there are several things where you now find out that women are becoming successful, and for some men it becomes a threat to them.
Okay.
You understand? As at that time, in our parents' time, we had less women go up and excel career-wise and all those stuffs. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
yes,
it was more like because they don't have so much, they are forced to submit. But right now that there's a career woman that is successful, the man has an issue of ego. That's why I said, but the custom is that they don't want to come forward because they feel my authority. And then religion also, the religion does not take this as your fayeba ele. But the truth of the matter is, when the first one happens, let's say it's a mistake, but and they should make move to report to the right authority. Even if you don't want to involve the police, there's the social welfare department in the states that you can relate it with. They are still going to address it from the point of mediation.
Okay.
They are still going to try and call the husband and tell him what he's doing under the law, where he's violating the law, and say, okay, can you make this thing work? Okay, so
when you say under mediation, that means it's not going to get to the court of law.
No, he's not going to.
Okay, okay.
And all that. Okay, if it's the case of they are trained to do that. They are trained to cater for it. Another place you can reach, that place is under the ministry.
Okay.
It's a ministry, is a ministry of the Oyo State government. So that one is just something, is a mediation. They will just talk with them and try and resolve it. And that's majorly also a call to pastors and clergies and imams that if such incident happen and their mediation is already failing, they should try and also involve the government in a way. Do you understand? So that we can cope, it's someone that is alive that can say that I want to still make my homework.
Exactly.
So, and then there's a provision under Matrimonial Causes Act which allows for separation. Yes. Judicial separation. Even if you don't want to go to court for judicial separation, if it will take a month or two of staying away, it can help. But in line with that, Section 19 of that law also has already made it that a person who batters his or her spouse commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 years or to a fine not exceeding 200,000 or both.
ìyẹn ni pé ẹ tó bá gbọ́wọ́ sókè tó bá na ìyàwó ẹ̀ lábẹ́ òfin ó lè lọ sí ẹ̀wọ̀n ọdún mẹ́ta.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Tàbí kó san owó ìtanràn. Okay.
Àbí kó ṣe méjèèjì. So, in fact, Section 2 now says that any person who attempts, not exceeding 1 year imprisonment or fine over 200,000, àbí méjèèjì.
Okay.
Yes, and then the third one says that anybody who incites, aids, abets, or counsels another person to commit the act of violence referred to in Section 1. People can buy on the more you are also 1 year imprisonment or fine of 200,000 or both.
So gbogbo àwọn olùdámọ̀ràn ìyàwó ẹ̀yẹ èmi máa ná ìyàwó mi wọ́n náà tó bá ti ná ara ẹ̀ máa balẹ̀ so àwọn gan ẹ̀wọ̀n wà nílẹ̀ fún wọn.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. So these are just things to the awareness of the public. So that they can make a call. And then there is this organization also is run by women lawyers. It's called FIDA.
Okay.
In Oyo State, they have branches everywhere.
What do you call it, sir?
FIDA.
FIDA. Okay.
Yes. There are women lawyers who rise up to help women having this kind of issues, domestic abuse and all that. They are at Iyagon, who is one of the branches of, it runs like MBA. Do you understand?
Okay.
So there are women lawyers who come together, cases come to them, they look at how they can help solve it. Just like what social welfare would also do. So these are forums that you can take matters to. you understand? There's JDPC. I'm not advertising, but I'm just trying to mention centers that.
It's fine. It's a social enlightenment, so no problem.
And these people, organizations I'm talking about are NGOs.
Okay.
Yeah, NGOs. So JDPC, there's AD House, Society of Nigeria. They are mediation related that can help to say that, okay, but the era of keeping quiet and keeping silent is not it at all. It's not it at all.
Yẹn ni wípé ẹn tí ọkọ ẹ̀ bá ń nà ìgbà wípé kí n má sọ jáde mi fẹ́ tú àṣírí ẹ̀ jáde ìgbà yẹn ti lọ kí àwọn obìnrin sọ̀rọ̀ jáde kan tó bá ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kàn jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ kó ló di wípé ẹ̀mí máa lọ sí.
Yes. And then just to let me read this section also, which also covers emotional, verbal, and psychological abuse. This also comes in. It says section 14, subsection 1, a person who causes emotional, verbal, or psychological abuse on another commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 1 year or to a fine not exceeding 200,000 or both. And then it also covers someone who attempts, someone who incites. You understand? So because you find out that some of these things also that leads to depression and then suicide, constant abusive word.
Yẹn pé kó máa lo ọ̀rọ̀ àti bá ẹni náà sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tí ò dáa ọ̀rọ̀ tó lè mú ìrònú lọ ẹlòmíì lè lọ fi parẹ́. Hello?
So it covers for abandonment of children. A person, section 16, a person who abandons a wife or husband, children, or other dependents without any means of sustenance commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a term of imprisonment not exceeding 3 years or to a fine not exceeding 500,000 or both.
So ọkọ tí ó bá ṣe ojúṣe ẹ̀ tó fi àwọn ọmọ sílẹ̀ tí ò fún wọn lówó tí ò tọ́jú wọn tó kàn fi ẹbí sílẹ̀ òun náà ní ìjìyà lábẹ́ òfin ọdún mẹ́ta tàbí 500,000.
Someone who attempts it is 2 years or 12 sites, or someone who assists the person to do it. So this is a preventive law.
Okay.
It's trying to prevent something, though there's also punishment there. But the essence is to curb, and that's why I appreciate this. That's why I'm reading it out so that everybody, people are bàbá kìíní kan àbí ìyá kìíní kan tó ń ṣe nǹkan báyìí ó máa ń ṣẹ̀ sófin so that tí ọlọ́pàá wá gbé wọn ní sọ pé a civil matter lélẹ́yìn náà kò yẹ kí ọlọ́pàá dá sí abẹ́ òfin ìjìyà ti wà fún. That's also what violence against women law of Oyo State 2016 is also trying to curb. That you don't just lift your hands and beat a woman. You don't just because if you except for women that are trained, there's no woman that can match up with a man in terms of physical strength.
But Barrister, we have some more that maybe they've undergone martial arts.
Those that are trained, of course.
Yes.
Apart from those that are trained,
yes,
naturally. It is rare. So I hope I've answered your question.
Yes. Now let's turn the table now, so that we don't stay on one side. Is this law also applicable to women that are also beating men? Because àrò obìnrin tó na ọkùnrin náà, àríyàwó tó na ọkọ, ṣé òfin náà ó bá obìnrin tó na ọkọ wí? Gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe rí pé òfin tó bá ọkọ láti máa nà ìyàwó, ṣé ó náà bá ìyàwó tó náà nà ọkọ?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. The law is gender-based violations. It's covering gender-based violations.
Okay.
An act to eliminate violence in private and public life. Prohibit all forms of violence against persons, that's beating men also, and to provide maximum protection and effective remedies for victims and punishment of offenders and for related matters.
Okay.
So it also covers spousal battery. You know, when I read that section, it doesn't say, it just says his or her. It says a person who batters his or her spouse.
Okay.
So that's covered for both.
Both. Okay.
It can be the woman beating the man. It can be the man beating the woman.
Okay.
So whosoever it is, it covers for hate.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Fantastic. All right. I've been speaking with Barrister Toluwase Samuel Ogundeji, who has been talking about domestic abuse laws in Nigeria. I think sọ̀rọ̀ nípa òfin tó rọ̀ mọ́ ìwà ipá lábẹ́lé, ìyẹn wípé bóyá ọkọ ó na ìyàwó tàbí ìyàwó ó na ọkọ. And gẹ́gẹ́ bá ṣe mọ̀ wípé ọ̀dọ̀ ọkùnrin ló fèsì jù pé kọkùnrin máa na ìyàwó, tàbí òfin wo ló tiẹ̀ tún rọ̀ mọ́ wípé kí ọkọ kó sọ pé òun fẹ́ fi àwọn ọmọ sílẹ̀ láì tọ́jú wọn, láì wá ọ̀nà láti lè tọ́jú wọn. Òun náà là ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí. A tún wá sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ká fi ipá bá ọmọ kékeré ṣe àṣepọ̀ tí ò tọ́ lábẹ́ òfin. Kí ni àwọn òfin tó rọ̀ mọ́? Eléyìí ni a máa bọ́ sí báyìí, ṣùgbọ́n ká tó sọ nọ́mbà tẹ́lẹ̀ pèsè bí ẹ̀yin ní ọ̀rọ̀ kan tàbí ìbéèrè kan tàbí òmíràn tẹ́ fẹ́ béèrè tí ò yé yín, àwọn nọ́mbà ṣe lè pè náà ní 09152222957 09155555957. If you have any question to ask the barrister, or something you are not clear about, or you are undergoing that right now, bí àwọn tẹ̀ ń là kọjá lásìkò tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, and you need clarification, what are the steps you can take, or you need more clarification regarding the law? What does the law say about this? The number you can call is 0915-2222-957 0915-5555-957. You are on to Soul 95.7 FM, and it is the Legal Guide Wednesday on Soul Breakfast Show. All right, barrister. Now let's shift the pole a bit now to the children. What does the law say about those people that abuse children, either physically, sexually, or even verbally?
Well, they are subject to conviction.
Okay.
That's what the law says. And that Violence Against Women law 2016 says that any person who has unlawful carnal knowledge of a girl under the age of 11 years is guilty of a felony and liable on conviction to imprisonment for life with hard labor.
Okay.
You know, for somebody that is not yet charge right says that below 18, you still read the person as a child.
Okay. So,
but for somebody that is under 11 or even under 14, you find out that what you say is defilement.
Okay.
You don't talk about rape. That would be defilement. But now this is actually now creating offenses for them. It says that any person who has or attempts to have unlawful carnal knowledge with a girl being of or above 11 years of age but below the age of 13 years, or knowing a girl to have mental disorders, has or attempts to have unlawful carnal knowledge of her, is liable to imprisonment for 14 years without an option of fine. That's also trying to protect ladies, women that are how would I put it now?
Mentally derailed.
Mentally derailed, or you are suffering from any form of disabilities.
Okay.
Because they are also vulnerable.
Yes.
They are also vulnerable.
Yes.
So the law comes to help them. And one of the agencies that also government that also help children is the Social Welfare Office.
Okay.
The they actually also handle issue of custody.
Okay.
And all that, child abandonment and everything like that. So that's why even when you say that a child was dropped on the dunghill or any place, you find out that the police will ask for, okay, have you informed the welfare office of the state? So that's one thing that the law says, this Violence Against Women law 2016 of Oyo State, and it also tries to prohibit female circumcision.
That's another topic entirely. That's a female mutilation, gender mutilation. Yeah. So okay, there's a law especially for that.
Yeah, it's under the Violence Against Women Law 2016, or your state Violence Against Women Law 2016. And Section 9 says the circumcision or genital mutilation of or a woman is hereby prohibited.
Please, can you say that again? Can you say that again? Because it has been a bone of contention amongst different people, and they've been saying that no, that is a cultural thing, that they have to circumcise their child, their female child, this and this and this. So can you state that again?
The circumcision or genital mutilation of or a woman is hereby prohibited. Section 9, subsection 1. And when you talk about custom, wherever custom is found to be repugnant, is found to be against the sensibility of humans, then a law, even the courts will hold such custom as impracticable.
Okay.
So that is one thing that those that are still saying it's a matter of custom should understand. And once there is a law that forbids something, then the law supersedes
the custom.
Whatever custom you are bringing in. And Section 2 says any person who performs female circumcision or genital mutilation or engages another to carry out such circumcision or mutilation is guilty of an offense and liable on conviction to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 4 years.
4 years.
And a fine of 100,000 or both. And then it also covers someone who attempts it. That one is 2 years or 80,000 naira fine or both. And someone who incites, aids or abets or counsels another, or someone who receives or assists another to commit it. So you has tried to cover anywhere you can want to run under and say that no, I didn't do it. I just
advised.
I just advised, or I just suggested the person that can do it to him. You are guilty under the law.
Wow. Well, fantastic. All right, we've been talking about domestic abuse laws in Nigeria, and I've been speaking with Barrister Toluwase Samuel Ogundeji, who has been doing justice to that topic. Nǹkan tá a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí náà ni nípa ìwà ipá ní àwùjọ wa, kí ni àwọn òfin tó rọ̀ mọ́. Nǹkan tí a tún sọ sí ni pé àwọn tó ń dábẹ́ fún obìnrin eléyìí ká mọ̀ wípé ó ti wà lábẹ́ òfin náà, wípé ẹni tó bá dán wò ọ̀ tó bá òfin di ẹni náà, ẹni tó bá ṣerú ọdún mẹ́rin àbí barrister.
Yes.
Ọdún mẹ́rin tàbí kan tí ẹ gbìyànjú pé ó fún yàn ní ìmọ̀ràn pé àbó sọ pé ibi báyìí náà ti ń ṣe lọ síbẹ̀, ìwọ gan abẹ́ òfin mú ọdún méjì, so kí a lè mọ bá ṣe máa ṣe, torí kan sọ pé ìlú tí ò sí òfin ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ò sí ń bẹ̀, kò dẹ̀ sí pé lọ́dà òfin pé mi mọ̀. Abi, there's no ignorance. It's not an excuse. Mi gbọ́ ni kò sí yẹn lábẹ́ òfin. Òun náà la ṣe gbé ètò ìkàlẹ̀ láti lè fúnra wa ní ìmọ̀ràn, láti lè kọ́ra wa lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nípa àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ ká mọ̀ lábẹ́ òfin. Ǹjẹ́ tí ẹ fẹ́ dá sí àbẹ́yìn tí ẹ ń larú ẹ̀kọ́ já ẹ fẹ́ ní ìmọ̀ràn, ìbéèrè tẹ fẹ́ béèrè 09152222957 09155555957. Barrister.
Yes.
Now I want to take us back to the spouse issue. Now, anyone that is undergoing this or passing through this, what is the first step, or what are the steps or the processes the person should go through to get a redress?
Well, I think the first thing is to report to. Normally, there should be an agency, and that's why I said I come across that Oyo State law for violence against person. I'll be able to do that. But under the Act, the police is empowered to assist in making complaints. So complaints can actually be made to the police. Even violence against women law also provides that the police can also be told about it. It says that a police at the scene can make a police officer at the scene of an incident of violence or as soon thereafter as reasonably possible, or to whom a report of violence has been made, shall have the duty of assisting a victim of violence to file a complaint regarding the violence, providing or arranging safe transport for the victim to an alternative residence, safe place, or shelter where such is required, providing or arranging transportation for the victim to the nearest hospital or medical facility, explaining to the victim his right to protection against violence and remedies available in terms of this law, explaining to the victim that he has the right to lodge a criminal complaint in addition to any remedy provided under this law, and accompanying the victim to victim's residence to collect personal belongings.
Okay. So
a police officer, section 2, without an order from the court or a warrant of arrest, may arrest any person whom he suspects upon reasonable ground to have committed any of the offenses above. A complaint has been made. So a complaint can be made to the police.
Okay. ìyẹn ni pé wọ́n lè lọ fi ẹjọ́ sun àwọn ọlọ́pàá.
Then, so they can then take it up from there. But section 39 says that there shall be created in the ministry the gender violence unit, which shall be headed by a coordinator. So the unit shall have the following functions: take complaint of violence against a person in breach of this law, report such complaints to the police, assist the police and other authorities in the investigation, render logistics, keep records, perform such other function and responsibility. So there is a unit, there shall be created in the ministry the gender violence unit. So there is that unit that will be charged with that responsibility under the welfare, the social welfare ministry. So in that unit, you can also make complaints to that unit. But for prosecution purposes, the police is the one that will make prosecution. So there are two angles you can do. You can go to the gender violence unit of the ministry in secretariat, or you can also do that by reporting to the police.
Yes. Well, fantastic. So the issue now is, what would you advise, especially the women now? Because there's this issue of family. Let's just or you see someone maybe is in the high post. For example, it can be a clergy. It can be a boss in an office, an organization, because he has money, so influential person. At the end of the day, they use the influence to kill the cases of these things. We've seen cases where an influential person or somebody in the position use his position to maltreat a female gender, and at the end of the day, it will tell the female gender there's nothing you can do about it, and I have the money. I will talk to the lawyers, and they will kill it. And even if you try, they threaten the person. What advice will you have for such? Because I know some people are passing through that now because they can't talk, but they don't have the money, and the person that abused them has the money, he has influence, he knows people. What would be your advice for them?
Well, the major thing is you can make, since the law allows you to make complaints in different places, do that. Make your complaint. Make your complaint and follow it up. No matter how, I don't believe anybody has that. I know, yes, it has been happening, and that's why sometimes you see the power of journalists. The power of journalists come into play, where at the beginning of the matter, you see that a lot of crimes, a lot of words are on the media already, so that everybody knows about it and everybody is expecting results about it. There was one involving someone in Ife. Now,
Yes.
you see how the media was able to also help the cause of justice. Until the matter got to court, you were still hearing it.
Yes.
So I think the person should still make your request, make your complaint known. Make your complaint known. There are several lawyers that are ready to take up cases even on pro bono basis.
Okay.
That's without payment.
Without payment, yeah.
When it comes to fighting for human rights, fighting injustice. And the judiciary system, at least for what I know in Oyo State, is that you can always bank on it. So even if you make your complaints to the ministry, you make your complaints to the police, and there is still no result on it, then you can still make ahead. There is this Oyo State Anti-Corruption Agency. If you feel there was something under it, make your complaint there.
Okay.
But, so that you know that you when you keep going around and ensuring that you want justice, you will have the justice. But what happens is that if someone said a statement like that, you just believe it.
All right. Sorry, Barrister. Let's pick this call. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning.
Let's pick this call. Good morning, sir.
I am Primate Shola Shitu.
Oh, good morning, Primate.
Thank you very much for trying to protect our women.
Yes, sir.
I am of the opinion that this program is a wonderful one,
Thank you, sir.
but I think it should not be about women alone. Because in my lifetime, I've experienced women who battered men.
Yes,
beat men to their knees.
Yes, Barrister have addressed that. We've talked about that too. So we've balanced the whole thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
We balanced it, yes.
So now I think we should also have a law, or the law should also protect women so that women will not start beating us to ransom. And I think the law also should embrace.
Yes,
that is the angle I was looking at it from.
Okay.
I am pleading to all women who is hearing me right now not to attack me. Because I might be sounding funny.
Okay.
You see, the type of women we are having today, some of them have lost what it takes to be a woman. They are highly easily influenced to anger. They have lots of patience and things like that. And many of them at times are the one that influences the man to do what they are doing. So I think the Ministry of Women Affairs and several other organizations are supposed to come better to start assisting women to be women before they start talking to about marriage. I think I want to put that as a serious concern.
All
But
right.
outside that, I want to appreciate, that's why I took my phone and called.
Okay.
I want to appreciate the local luminary, the Esquire on the program. I want to appreciate him.
Yes, sir.
Because these things he has pushed out to us here this morning, I think will go a long way in curbing several men who act without thinking well. For crying out loud, how can you beat your own wife? I've been married now for several years. I've never raised my hand against my wife one day. I have my mouth to talk, and she also can talk. We don't go beyond that. When it comes to bantering, then I want you to tell us the lawyer. Please advise us before it goes.
Okay, sir.
That in every marriage, there should be the AGM room. The room where you discuss issues before they fly up. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Thank you so much, Primate. All right, Barrister, did you hear what he said?
Yes, I did. You know, he mentioned something that when you asked me about, when you asked me why do people not talk, one of the issues we are having today is loss of values. Even on male and of female, because there are several people that have met me and said there are several women convention, women conferences, you go, you see, but you don't see anyone for men. And that there should be some for men. Well, I agree to an extent with Primate that yes, there is need to resell certain values. You know, I appreciate, and that's why I mentioned earlier that there's this issue of, that's why for me, permit me,
Okay.
it's my opinion that there were some dangers that feminism did to several marriages and our values. Yes, you a woman should have a place. You have opportunity to grow in your career and be whatever you want to be. But you must understand that in the walls of your home, you are a wife and mother. I've read some from judges of that are women. One is retired now, and she mentioned something. She said, as a judge, everybody tells you, my lord, my lord. You can command somebody to go to prison, and even before they upturn your judgment, is already in the prison. And she said something. She said, once she's done at work and she enters her car and she's about to get to her house, she tells herself, I am now the wife of my husband. So at home, she's not my lord. At home, she's a wife.
Your wife.
Which requires submission, which requires coming to the place of understanding. The man will always want to come with the ego, which of course you come to know how to also understand with somebody else. Understanding is very key, and I also say that to a very large extent to let families help homes to grow. Let families help homes to grow. When someone marries, a man marries a woman, the woman becomes part of the man's family. The man becomes part of the wife's family. It should no longer be about your family, my family. No, it is now one. In fact, the family is now the both of you trying to build a home. So, because sometimes divorce cases, you find out that there has been interference from the relatives.
Yes.
That has caused several issues, and the man is trying to protect his family, the woman is trying to protect her family. No, you have left, scripture says that therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife. You must leave them and join. The both of you are now building another family. So I think that's what when marriage registry, when they try to do it. If you go to marriage registry in the local government, you find out that they try to exhort and talk. Churches also do that. So, but we won't stop talking about it. Social engagement like this won't stop telling the right values. Women.
Thank you so much, Barrister. You've been wonderful this morning, and I believe a lot of people have learned one or two things today regarding to be guided in domestic abuse at home, so that when they know all these things, they will be guided and know that yes, if I do this I'm playing with 3 years, or we can start telling ourselves, Oga, you are playing with 14 years if you do that. You are playing with 5 years imprisonment if you do that. So I believe that we'll be able to have a sane environment and a sane society. Thank you so much, Barrister, for your wonderful time this morning.
Yes, sir. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. And maybe some people want to contact you after the program. Can you please give out your contact?
Okay.
If you don't mind.
0706
Okay.
278 6417.
Again, please.
0706
0706
278 64 17.
That's the number of the Barrister. Maybe you have one or two things, because I know some people are trying to remain anonymous. They don't want to call, maybe to protect themselves or something. But if you have any issue regarding that, you can just call him after the show, or you call me on 0813 744 5659. All right, so from there we take it up and see what we can do. Barrister, I want to thank you so much and have yourself a lovely day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. That's been a wonderful and very insightful one on the Legal Guide Wednesday edition, talking about domestic abuse laws in Nigeria. And I want to believe that we have able to grab one or two things regarding that, and that will be a guide for us, and also will also be guided, either male or female gender, in abuse, domestic abuse against women, against men, against children. sexually and verbally and also physically. We want to have a sane environment. We want to have an environment that we can say, yes, we can live. When we live, we know that, yes, our generation to come, we have a wonderful environment and we can live perfectly and peacefully, both genders. And also the women, it's time for you to be speaking up. Speak up if you are going through one issue or the other, marriage issue, domestic, physical issue. It is when you are alive that you can be the mother of your children. So some of you say, yes, because of for the sake of my children, to your money, because of my family, because of my religion. When you die, religion continues. Religion will not stop because you die, or culture will not stop because you die. Your lives matter most. So if you are women or men undergoing this physical abuse, domestic abuse, or a child going through, let's speak up. Some of the agencies have been rolled out. Let's contact them. Let's get in touch with them. So on this note, I want to thank you for today's edition of Soul Breakfast Show, especially the Legal Guide Wednesday. It's been a wonderful, and I want to thank Prime Shiru for your calls today, and those of you that have been listening to that and unable to call, thank you so much. For sponsorship and advert, you come to our commercial office at number 3 and 4 Awodi Layout, adjacent to Rita Challenge Police Station, or you can call this number 0813 744 5659. Again, 0813 744 5659. Until tomorrow again for another edition of Soul Breakfast Show, I remain yours truly, Olusegun. Okay, Deji. Good. Bye.